The central nervous system, which I'll designate CNS, the central nervous system, consists of the brain and the spinal cord. What does it consist of? The brain and the spinal cord. Spinal cord, C-O-R-D. There we go. And what is this called? The central nervous system. And these two connect through, or they connect, well, they're really not connecting, they're continuous. They're continuous through this opening in the skull. Really, what do you call this opening in the skull? Opening in the skull. They are continuous, or the brain is continuous through an opening in the skull called the foramen magnum. The foramen magnum. And it just continues on down through the spinal cord. Magnum. There we go. So it's continuous through this. The central nervous system is continuous from the brain through the spinal cord, through and into the spinal cord. They're continuous through an opening in the skull called the foramen magnum. Oh, okay. Tell me more. All right. Well, how about I do more than tell you? Let's draw a little picture. A little picture is nice. So, what would the skull look like? It'd be something like, oh boy, this is not going to look good. And there's the foramen magnum. Oh, that's really bad. And something like that. Now this thing right over here, that's the foramen magnum. Foramen magnum. And so you already saw a picture of the skull sideways. There's the eyes, the nose, and this, up like this. Now let's look at this guy from the bottom. Looking up towards him from the bottom. It'd look something like this. Oh, that's really bad drawing. I'm embarrassed. Let's try that again. I mean, even according to my very low standards of drawing, that was very bad. All right. Not that that's too much better. And the foramen magnum is right here. And then this would be where your teeth are, the upper teeth. And that's your foramen magnum. Foramen magnum. Foramen magnum. From different angles. So that's our foramen magnum from the bottom part, looking at the skull from the bottom, looking up. Now, the central nervous system is not the only system that's in the body. There's another system called the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system. And the peripheral nervous system, peripheral, equals the what? Peripheral. And that's basically peripheral nervous system. Let me write this thing out first. Peripheral nervous system. That's basically anything that's outside of the brain and the what? And the spinal cord. And the spinal cord. The brain and the spine. Which makes up the what? The central nervous system. Central nervous system. I'm running out of room. I'll abbreviate. Okay. So, can you give me an example of anything in the peripheral nervous system? Yeah, sure can. If you watch K1 fighting at all, K1 fighting, or any kind of the mixed martial arts on TV, you'll always see them trying to kick each other in the back of the leg. Kick each other where? In the back of the leg. Why? Because there's this long nerve that runs down there called the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve. It runs right down the back of the leg. Where does it run? It runs right down the back of the leg. Huh. Sciatic nerve runs down the back of the leg. And if you get kicked there hard enough, it's going to be awful hard to walk. Really? What does it look like? All right, I'm glad you asked that question. I'll draw a picture. This is the back of the guy. Boy, that's some really bad drawing. And let me see. I'll try and draw. What I'll do is I'll draw a little bit of the spine in black. Spine, 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 and then last bone, the tailbone, the coccyx. And then I got more space over here. I'll draw this in red. And oops, that wasn't in red. And you got these nerves connecting up over here, running down the back of the leg. It'd be better if I made it sort of like this. You can see it a little bit clearer. Yes? And it runs down the back of the leg. That's the sciatic nerve. What is that called again? The sciatic nerve. And it is a part of what system? The sciatic nerve. It's what part of what system? The PNS. The peripheral nervous system. It's not a part of the spine nor the brain. It's not part of the central nervous system. It is part of the peripheral nervous system. Okay. Away you go, away you go. Now, let's see, one more thing we'll talk about today, and that is your brain is divided up into two parts, except we don't call those two parts parts, we call them, like the world, hemispheres. Hemispheres. And we'll be dealing with one of those hemispheres. So there's a left part and a right part. So the right part of the hemisphere is pretty much what we've been looking at already. It's like this. This guy over here, towards the lower right-hand corner, that's the cerebellum. This is the cerebellum. What shall we say then about these two hemispheres, this hemisphere that we're looking at? Well, we could say that this part right over here, remember from our last lesson, what do we call the front part of the hemisphere? Rostral. This part is rostral, and this part over here towards the back is caudal. Huh. Rostral, and that would be caudal. Huh. What do you know? What do you know? All right. Well, keep it short and sweet. So, that's it for now. So long. From Hoboken Gear. It's been fun. It really has. I enjoyed this. Bye-bye now.